Well, hello, and another big hello. How are you? It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been about several plus months. I didn't put any videos out in the spring or the summer or the fall, and here we are at the beginning of winter. And as you can see, I have my Christmas tree up. It's not decorated yet fully, but it is up. And so I hope that you are finding yourself always in the best position that you could be in, which is in the hands of God. Always the best place to be, if I haven't mentioned that already. And so, anyway, I wanted to be able to come out here and make sure that I close out the year with at least the stories that I have. In order to be able to tell these stories, I have to go out and live them before I can be able to share them and tell them to you guys. So in case you are somebody that is coming across this channel for the very first time, I so welcome you here. You're so invited here. But please know before, I don't want to waste anybody's time. Just to let you know, this channel is based off of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 17, which states that we as Christians are to give an account as to the hope that we have in us. And so that's what this whole channel is based on. And so I'm saying that to you because if you're somebody that, wants the story like snap, 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 a drive-through story, that's not me. I think that anything that God is involved in deserves a respect to be able to take the time to be able to tell how he works and what he has done. The other purpose for this channel is this. It is to say that God still works today. Yes, he is the Bible of yesterday, today, and forevermore. He is the God of the Bible, the God of Israel. And he didn't just perform signs, miracles, and wonders back then. He's still doing them now. He still works today. And so that's another reason why this channel got started. It's all because of him. So, again, you're so welcomed here. This is what I do here. And so that's pretty much about it. And so now, without further delay, I'm going to go ahead and get into the story, which the stories that I'm going to be sharing to close out this year are all stories that stem from 2024. So without further delay, if I haven't said that already, let me go ahead and tell you what happened. In all honesty, it is a story that is kind of, well, not kind of, let me not beat around the bush. It's kind of an uncomfortable story, to be honest. And I debated for a while to be able to tell it because it is uncomfortable for me, but at the same time, I think that it should be shared because it involves God, and because God never ceases to amaze me. So here's what happened. I was out one evening, and basically I was out to do as I always do. I always go exercising, I go walking, I do, fast walking, but I had to stop and go get some toiletries and it's always to, buy things. I'm a woman, what can I say? I have things that I have to buy. And so now that I am, a salt and pepper hair lady, there are certain types of shampoos that I have to use. So needless to say, I went out there to look for a certain shampoo. And then on top of that, I was, reading the ingredients. This particular place that I had gone to, which it has nothing to do with them in reference to this negative experience that I had, but I was in Walmart, and I was there just, going to get this specific shampoo. But then I was also trying to look to see if I could find, maybe there was something else that had similar ingredients that would be cheaper. Okay, can't blame a woman for trying to save some money. So anyway, so I was there and I was, going to, look for this particular shampoo. And so while I was there, it just so happened that that particular Walmart had renovated things. They had, added like a new beauty department, and they had moved things around. So I hadn't yet gotten myself acclimated to how they switch things around. And so anyway, I went ahead and, I was in their, beauty department. And when I went back there, I didn't see anybody back there. So I just went back there and I just started, I found that shampoo that I was looking for, put it in my cart, and then began to look at the other shampoos and conditioners to just, once again, just to see like if by chance I could save some money. So as I was sitting there, kind of squatted down, reading the ingredients and, things that I was looking for in the ingredients. And, all of a sudden I hear somebody, say to me, well, I shouldn't say to me because I didn't know that they were even talking to me. Let's just say I heard someone say something. And then all of a sudden I heard, yeah, I'm talking to you in the hat. Because a lot of times when I'm out and about, I wear hats. And all of my hats, they have scriptures and verses on the back of them. Because on the days that I don't really feel like ministering or evangelizing sometimes, I make sure that I have some type of ministering or evangelizing tool going on, so that if I'm not in the mood to do it, then the hat's doing it for me. And so anyway, this person said, yeah, I'm talking to you in the hat. And so I turn around and I see this young man, and he tells me, he asks me, so is this where the shampoo and conditioner are? And I said, yeah, it seems like they just added this new area. So yeah, let me go. So yeah, go ahead. I mean, this is where it's at. And then I went back to reading my shampoo and conditioner ingredients. I went back to reading. And then he started saying some more things, and I wasn't catching everything that he was saying. So then, he said, yeah, I'm talking to you again. So I get up from squatting or whatever. And, now the evangelist me has, kicked in. And I always, when I'm being spoken to, I always try to use it as an opportunity to be able to evangelize to somebody. And so, I saw that there was this young man, there, and he was about maybe 6'1", maybe, really a kid, to be honest. And he starts, saying to me, just there was no one else back there but myself and this young guy. And he starts to tell me that he likes older women. And because I didn't know where the conversation was going, you always want to try to give people the benefit of the doubt because you don't know what they're going to say. And so I said, well, good. I said, I'm pretty sure that your mom would be happy to hear that because, I'm guessing that his mom is, way older than he is, because that's his mom. And so I just thought, well, that's a good thing. And then he starts to say, he starts to actually model himself. And he said, guess how old I am? And starts to like advertising himself and kind of twirling around and kind of let me get a look at, I guess what he was marketing, And I said, I don't ever like to guess how old people are, and I really truly don't. Whenever anyone asks me that, guy or girl, that's not my field. That's not my that's not my forte. That's something I don't like to do. Because a good grief, if you get it wrong, you know, um, anyway, so as he starts to, advertise himself, I just said, I don't know. And then he said, well, I'm 24. And I said, oh, okay. Well, I said, well, good for you. And then again, not, kind of trying to figure out, when to come in and, ask him where he's at with God and things like that. He starts telling me some other things, and then proceeds to tell me, at this point, he starts speaking to me in a very, very vulgar way. So much so that I'm not going to sit here and tell you what it was that he was saying to me, because it's so foul that I'm just not going to do it. I feel uncomfortable being able or saying it. So anyway, he starts to tell me, I really couldn't believe my ears. I think that at that particular moment I was in shock. You never think that you're going to be in shock. I mean, back when I was in my early 20s, I would hear a lot of things as I would walk on by, or I would be walking, across the street. A young woman, knows this kind of stuff, but it's been a while since I had heard some of the stuff that was, coming out of his mouth. And you know what? In the most polite way, and that I can put it, because like I said, there's no, I'm not going to say the words that he said, but I can say that if I had to, narrow it down to something, I would say they were words of rape, of verbal rape is what I call it, verbal rape. And so then I ended up getting, I just got up and just forgot about everything, and I was just like, you know what, I just started walking off. And as I was strolling my cart, he started following me, and he said, you're not going to get rid of me. I like you. You're not going to get rid of me. And as I'm strolling my cart, trying to look for, for security, and start walking towards the customer service desk, because I figured, well, if I can't find security, I can at least go to customer service and he'll get the hint, But as we were walking, or I should say, as I was, walking pretty briskly, and he was following me, he was saying things loud enough for me to hear, but not loud enough for everybody else to hear. So at one point, at some point, like halfway in between the store, he starts to say, just like I said, even more vulgar things, like begging me to let him walk me out to my car so he can do XYZ towards me. And I mean, I can't even believe, like I said, that I'm hearing this stuff. And I mean, he's young enough to be my son or my grandson, okay? I mean, so anyway, so as he was saying, the vulgar things as I was walking, at some point, I don't know, I didn't know at that moment why I did it. I knew later on. With me, everything always in hindsight. But I stopped halfway in the middle of the store, and I turned around and I took out of my purse my business card, which has my prayer line number on there, my business email on there, and it has that I'm a servant of God, that I am a child of God, that I am the daughter of the Most High God. So, it gave on my card who I belong to. And may I tell you, when I took out that card and handed it to him, he stopped right in his tracks took it, and it was as if it burned his hands. And as he was, he looked at me like this look of shock. And then he said, well, I know God, but I don't want this. And it's just as he was getting ready to like release it from his hands, I got it. And it was as if he could no longer move. He stopped. He was stopped right in his tracks and was no longer trying to follow me. And as I was, once we he gave me that look, like it was a look of, I shouldn't be messing with this lady. And as he was getting ready, as he was, kind of dropping the card and said, I don't want this. I believe in God. He was basically telling me, I don't need it, lady. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, yes, you do. You need it a lot. And, but it was as if, like I said, like he came to a halt, was stopped, frozen right in his tracks. And then as I was walking away, he started to say, now mind you, he didn't take off after me anymore. He shouted and said, help me learn how to talk to you, and, teach me how to be. And I just remember turning around and I said, only God can do that. And then I kept walking. But the whole point was that once he saw on that card my identification, my heavenly citizenship, he came to a stop. And so did his vulgarness. And so later on, I drove home, I believe, just all in shock. When I got home, I sat down and I was just still in shock, okay? Because again, I was violated. I could not, for hours, figure out why I felt so bad. Like, why did I feel so bad? I didn't do anything wrong. And then I even looked to look at myself in the mirror and look to see, was I wearing anything revealing? Did I do this too much? Did I say something? Did I look a wrong way? What did I do? And I went back and I sat down, right here on this couch. And I just started to feel overwhelmed, and I just started crying, and I started to wonder, why do I feel this way? And so, fast forward to the point. I had realized that the reason that I felt that way was because I was indeed violated. I really was. And it let me know this. At first I thought, I'm an idiot. Because why did I give him my card? If I didn't want him bothering me, what made me give him my card? So as I was, right back here again, sitting on my couch, thinking like, what a fool am I? Why did I do that? I mean, it had all my information on there. What if he would have taken it and then would have continued on to bother me? But as I was sitting there, the Holy Spirit was so calming to me and lifted me up and was speaking to me. And what he downloaded in my spirit was this. I knew that he was going to drop that card. He wasn't going to take it, which is why I had you to take out the card to give it to him. It stopped him in his tracks. And it let him know, this woman is covered. This woman is covered, which was why he was not able to proceed in violating me. And, it let me know that when God shows up, when the Lord shows up, when my Father shows up, it changes things. It shifts things in the atmosphere. It really does. He does. And it just let me know that He has me, that He has me covered, that I am protected. And that that card said a lot. It said who I belong to. It said that I'm not a citizen even from here. I'm a citizen from heaven. And that's who you're violating. I know that it was because that covering that my Father gave me stopped Him from violating me anymore. So, listen, when lawlessness hits, it hits different when it hits personally. Never, I'm going to close up by saying this, God has the victory, okay? So what it let me know is that lawlessness in this day and time is rampant. It just is. We're living in end times. We're living in biblical times. And it let me know just how much it is important to know whose you are, what citizenship you're carrying, And, don't get me wrong. I ended up praying for him later on down the road, as soon as I got over what he had done, and to recognize that, that young man did and does need prayer, and he's lost. But it just goes to show you, never in my life would I have ever imagined, I'm not spring chicken, okay? I'm close to 60 years old, and never in my life did I ever recall growing up, being his age or younger, ever thinking about being disrespectful to somebody that was older. I never would have thought that was even possible, but it is happening. And as a matter of fact, I have seen so much lawlessness, but it becomes different when it's at your home court. When it happens to you, it changes things. It really, really does. But God always has the victory. And so, I recall another incident where I was at Walgreens, and I saw where people were just, stealing things. And I saw that they were doing it. And I said, excuse me, isn't anyone going to do anything about it? And then the staff there told me, no, we're not allowed to reprimand them, and we're not allowed to approach them. Never in my life have I ever seen something like that, like I see it now. The lawlessness that takes place, the disrespect that I see. So we are living in end times. I know I've said that before, but it is good to know who you belong to, what citizenship that you really have, and to always remember to be covered. Cover yourself by it. Make sure that you're covered by it. So in actuality, I wasn't a fool. The Holy Spirit knew, prompted me to be able to give him that card. And it was that very card that stopped him in his tracks. That proof of citizenship, of whose I am. So in closing, take what you will from it. Hopefully it'll be something good. See, I told you, I don't know if I did tell you or not, but see how it ended on a good note. God always has the victory. He always does. And so before I close, I want to be able to say this. If you're not saved today, okay, if you're not saved, one day Jesus is going to come from that sky, and you want to be a part of that number. You want to make sure that you're going to heaven. I already have citizenship there. I'm just not there yet. And so if you're saved today, you have the same citizenship as well. And so anyway, I hope and I pray that you'll take something good away from this. God always has the victory if I haven't said it enough. And so you'll be seeing me again soon. I have more stories to share. Take what you will from it. Hopefully it'll be something good, because that is what this channel is about. It is about to inspire, to encourage, to uplift, and to give messages from time to time. And so with that, I bid you a good night. You'll see me soon again. And so let's close out this 2024 with nothing but good. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. God bless you, and enjoy this weekend. Bye-bye.